You don't have a diversity problem. We have people problems. I'm the problem, you're the problem, we are all the problem, and it's going to take every last one of us to fix the issues that we've created. But diversity is not a problem. Diversity is a fact. Plain and simple. Diversity is a fact. But it's the biases that we have toward others that keep us from accomplishing progressive goals. And it makes all of this so elusive. But it's the unconscious bias that is really hurting our companies, hurting our communities. You know, I hear people say all the time what their companies need to do to change. I hear them talk about the communities, even the government, certainly the government in the United States. That's an everyday conversation, all day, every day conversation. But the only way that change actually happens is if you're the change you want to see. We have to be the change. We can't wait on our companies and our communities and our governments to make that change. If you become a part of the process, you begin to see the change that you want. You know, everybody wants it, but nobody wants to do it. And that's where the individual part of this comes into play. Truly transformational change begins when we get rid of the BS. Unconscious bias is an unrecognizable part of our upbringing. Now, if you look it up, it's going to say hidden preferences that we have for others. This is a definition that I came up with because it usually happens from the people that we love most in the world. And it usually happens as a way to protect us, not because someone's just being racist or misogynistic or any of those really horrible negative things, but because they had some things happen in their lives that they want to make sure that the people they love are not experiencing those same things. So they teach us in a way that they think is helpful. This is my grandmother. Yep, that's Ola Mae. And my grandma and Jesus were best friends. Now, I tell you that because this woman was known throughout our town for being just the sweetest, most helpful person in the world. And if she ever thought that she was teaching me anything that would be hurtful to others or harmful to others, that would have hurt her deeply. But my grandmother was a maid for a white family in the small town that we grew up in. And I used to go to work with her sometimes. And this particular time I went because her boss's grandkids were in town and we would always play together. Well, we're playing and her boss asked us, "What do you guys want to be when you grow up?" Never thought about it before. I had to be like 6 or 7 years old. And I'm kind of sweating a little bit because all these other kids are giving these great answers. And I think about my grandma, who I literally thought walked on water. So when it was my turn, I said, "I want to be a maid, like grandma." Everybody's cheering and clapping, and this is one of those books you get when you're little and you all the way up through 12th grade. But I actually wrote that I wanted to be a maid. So everybody's cheering and clapping until grandma runs out the back. Grandma is not happy. And my grandmother was not this very strong disciplinarian. So she came in, got on her knees, grabbed me by both shoulders, and she said, "Do you think I'm doing this because I want to?" Yeah. I thought adults did what they wanted to do, right? She said, "I'm doing this because I have to. You are going to college." I had no idea what college was, but I knew I would be there. I just knew I would be there. And when I think back about that moment, I think it got really awkward. Everybody stopped cheering and clapping. And I thought I had done something wrong. We get in the car and she explained to me, I wanted to be a nurse, but they wouldn't allow me. She never said who they were. And I'll tell you, for a few years after that, whenever someone asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I said a college. I just want to be a college. Whatever a college is, that's what I want to be. Keep it easy here. But it continued on. I'm from the era when kids actually played outside. So killer kickball games are going on, and grandma decides, nope, you're going to learn how to read, write, count, everything you're supposed to learn at school. And I said, well, grandma, I want to learn it at school. I want to go outside and play. She said, no, they may not teach you the way they teach the other children. They're becoming a real pain in my ass, right? Because now I'm missing kickball games. Then I go to the store. Some of you look old enough to remember when penny candy actually cost a penny. I would go in and buy 2 or 3 pieces of candy, come out to the car, and my grandmother would say, "Where's your sack and your receipt?" "Grandma, it's 2 pieces of candy. Go back. They're going to think you stole that." To this day, I have a mental deal in my head. I go buy 2-liter soda. They're like, you want a sack or a receipt?" "No, yeah, no, yeah, give it here. Give it here." Because in my mind, the police are going to be out there, guns drawn, like, you stole something, right? Never happened before, but my grandma said that it might. Then the day I found out who they were, we're in a Walmart parking lot, and I'm having a meltdown because she is trying to tuck my shirt into my shorts, but it's not that type of outfit. So she's shoving my shirt in my shorts. I'm crying, and she says, "They gonna think you haven't been raised right." Finally, I said, "Who, Grandma?" She turns around, "White folks, child." Oh my God. All this time we've been talking about white people. They are everywhere. The town I grew up in at that time was 95% white. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Because think about it. They didn't let my grandma be a nurse. They didn't let me play kickball games. They're gonna think I stole my candy. And they're gonna make me tuck my shirt in when it's not even supposed to be tucked in. Who are these people? And when you think about that, it put a mistrust of white people into me. And I had never even had a personal experience that was negative. But because the person that I probably love most in the world said this would happen, I thought, I've got to protect me because they're only looking out for them. Even at that young age, it was introduced.